Hello, my mimics, and welcome back to the Mimic Commentary, episode 77. Last time we left off, we gave we showed the Haligtree Secret Medallion to Latenna, a Albinauric, in a rare case of one who chose to become a spirit voluntarily. Latenna was renowned as a deft magic archer, but having lost her beloved wolf companion Lobo, which I think translates into wolf in maybe Latin, she cannot move from her place where she's summoned. Okay. So we know Albinaurics, their immovable fate is that their legs will fade away, and so will they. She is a Albinauric that is not from the Academy. We deduced that the second generation, the young Albinaurics, with the frog heads, they are an iteration of the Albinaurics from the Albinauric village, which were man-made people from the Academy. We're tying that into the crabs that we found. We're tying that into this, that they cast sleep magic. I think we have to figure out more on that aspect of it. The fact that the Albinaurics cast Academy spells, and where would they have come from, and what is their goal from the Academy? We're trying to create these man-made life forms. So, for a recap of Latenna's story, Ensha, the soulless lord, the all-hearing brute, the lord of the lost and desperate, known as Ensha. We're thinking this body, this animated skeleton of an old lord from possibly the Sun Realm, working with Gideon in some way to learn more about who knows what. From the rhymed crystal bud that we got from the dead Albinauric woman in the temple quarters, which had a kind of like a Mikola lily type of painting scenario going on, where we saw the Ice Rind hatchet from Castle Sol. We're deducing that the Haligtree Secret Medallion and the Ice Rind hatchet, both gifts from Castle Sol. When we showed the medallion to Latenna, she says, the medallion is better off in your hands anyway. Would you consider doing me a great service? I must go back. Okay, so she has to go back to somewhere. Where does she have to go back? To the land of Michaelis Haligtree. There's something that I must do, even if I must say farewell to my wolf, Lobo. Will you show me the way to the land of Michaelis Haligtree? So she has to go back to Michaelis Haligtree. So she came from Michaelis Haligtree down to Liurnia, and she has to go back. She needed this half of the medallion. Albus wanted to give her this half of the medallion. If this is how you get to the land of the Haligtree, and we need the other half, she tells us that they say the other half of the medallion is beyond the Forbidden Lands north of the Erd Tree, in Castle Sol, the mountaintops of the giants, accessible by the Grand Lift of Rold. So she came from Michaelis Haligtree, and she doesn't have access to get back to it. The only way to get back to it is you need the two halves of the medallions. One that Albus had, and one that's in Castle Sol. We're deducing that Castle Sol deliberately split up the medallion, keeping one safe in Liurnia with their allies, who they gifted the Ice Rind hatchet to. Right now I'm thinking the Carians and not the Academy. And they keep the other half safe in the Forbidden Lands. But Latenna doesn't have that. She came from the Haligtree. But she can't get back. Not just because she doesn't have her wolf, but she doesn't have the two halves of the medallions. So that's interesting. And since she's an Albinauric, that means she's made from human hands. So coming from the Haligtree are man-made people. Specifically, women tied to wolves. She calls Lobo her other half, my better half. Farewell, Lobo, my faithful wolf, my better half. I will go with the Tarnish, so that our journey will not be in vain. So they journey down from the Haligtree to Liurnia, and they have to go back. Why do they have to go back? We don't know yet. With our prophetic power, you see into the future, and you see what they're doing. Well, that will be important when we get there. And what else do we have from her? Then after she turns into a spirit, do you hear me? It is I, Latenna, or oh no, wait. What does she say? I don't know what she's actually. I don't remember what she said, but she says like you could summon me if need. Another important thing: a rare case of one who chose to become a spirit voluntarily. So people can become spirits. People can become spirits, and that's going to be useful deducing that in the future. Specifically, this Albinauric, who was a man-made creation, a man-made human, a man-made person, can become a spirit, can become an ethereal thing that can live on post-life. Yeah. So I think there's a lot of interesting stuff. Why does... Well, Gideon wants to be the all-knowing, so he probably just wants to get to the Halo tree because he wants to know what's up. You know? He doesn't really need to... You know, he wants to become Elden Lord and he wants to be all-knowing. That's his pursuit. What is he going to do with that knowledge? Well, I guess be the best king, be the best lord. What does Ensha want? Well, we're thinking Ensha is a lord, possibly from Sunrealm times. Do these guys have anything that... Hey, let's see what carrying Greatsword does on them. That's a lot of damage. So we're thinking Ensha, kind of a Sunrealm guy. Maybe he's of those who live in death. Latenna calls him a Tarnished. Can Tarnished be those who live in death? Someone in the comments in the last episode said that maybe the armor is Ensha, and then when someone wears the armor, they like become Ensha, like they take on Ensha's identity, or maybe, you know, since Ensha is soulless, he needs someone else to satisfy those requirements for him. It's also important to, I think, for us to consider, using our prophetic power for the future, what the significance of these man-made women, like Latenna, having wolves as companions that they consider to be their better halves. What does that look like, and why? You know, the Albinaurics are man-made, and they're silver. So in some... Oh, I'm jumping. I was just playing Bloodborne, so... in some regard... Not far enough. In some regard, the Albinaurics are mimicking, in a way. They're not, like, you know, perfect copies. They're not perfect copies. But they're copies nonetheless of people. You know, they're mimicking people, but not to a fully believable degree. Why do they have this wolf thing going on? Why is that? What significance does that have to our story? Who is it trying to parallel, and why? Specifically, women and their wolves. And I think that's going to tell us something pretty spectacular when we learn more about women and their wolves. But we still have to think on that more. I hope I gave Latenna a good enough spotlight, because, you know, she's rather important, but, you know, we'll have to come back to that stuff when we get there. We have the Cuckoos here, guarding the Academy. Well, that makes sense. They also lock down the Academy. They lock down the Academy because they don't want to be involved in the Shattering. But I think also Renala's in the Academy, and they rebelled against her. This is kind of like keeping her prisoner. I guess, who would they be trying to protect from? Well, I guess Radahn and maybe Rykard from getting access into the Academy. Oh, that's pretty awesome shields again. All right, we got some good lore hidden in the shield. Let me equip it. This shield, very similar to the riveted wooden shield. Does it have similar designs on here? Oh, we got a lot of things to look at on the shield. Someone has probably really done a deep dive onto these things. Blue-white wooden shield, so the color's blue and white. Blue and white. I'm getting snow, maybe sky? Snow and sky? Oh, it says that there. Small wooden round shield that has been reinforced with metal. It is light and easy to handle, but cannot offer the damage negation of true metal shield. Probably an older shield. The design is said to represent the stars in the night sky, pretending fate. Ooh. Pretending, and you know, the thing about fate is that they're the astrologers, so they do astrology. They look to the cosmos above, that the sky and the cosmos are one, Bloodborne stuff. They read fate in the stars and are said to be the heirs of the Glintstone sorcerers, but alas, the night sky no longer cradles fate. And the telescope, during the age of the Earth Tree, carrying astrology withered on the vine. The fate once written in the night sky has been fettered by the Golden Order. Okay, so we're looking for fate in the stars. We're doing astrology. We're looking at star signs. We're looking at your birthing chart. What time were you born? What time and where were you born? To accurately, look at the probability of your lives. So these are supposed to be the stars. These are supposed to, is that what it said? Represent the stars in the night sky, pretending to fate. Okay, all right. So the one on the right, that trident right there, that kind of reminds me a bit of Marika's scar seal, but it could also be showing... the Blood Oath, the Lord of Blood incantations, because I'm seeing a trident there. But it could also be the crucifixion things. Then we have that top one, the two curved with the arrows. So on the right in the white, that is giving me Lord of Blood trident. This one right here, that looks like a great rune that we haven't gotten to yet. That one reminds me of a great rune. The one on the left, that kind of looks like a very typical star. And the one on the bottom, what could that be? Kind of gives me a castle. Which way are you supposed to look at it? If that... I think from, up and down. Okay, we're gonna... top one, I'm getting... This is I'm getting Great Rune. A Great Rune we haven't come across yet. This one, I'm getting Lord of Blood incantation. This one, a star of some sort. I wonder what type of star. This one's very confusing. I don't know about that one. Castle? A diamond in 2 lines. Is it spiraling? I don't know. Okay, we're gonna have to think about that in the future. I think that's a probably important shield for us to investigate, especially when it comes to astrology and fate and all that. I think that's going to be an important thing for us to pay attention to. All right, we're at the academy. Important thing. Look at this. Now this has probably been, very, very misty, very foggy. You cannot proceed without a glintstone key. That's what Tops told us. Where do we have to get our glintstone key? You found a simple map. All right. Simple map found on a corpse. Meeting place. The man it came from surely desired one. The sole means to gaining entry into the academy. A glintstone key. So hey, we can't get into the academy. And Grace wants us to go this way. Grace wants us to go to the academy. What did Grace want us to do? Just go through here, go into the academy. Don't bother with the slumbering wolf. Grace does not care if we go here. Grace didn't want us to do anything over here. Grace didn't want us to go down the well. Grace didn't want us to go to the study hall. Grace didn't want us to go to the Church of Vows. Grace didn't want us to go to the mausoleum compound. Grace doesn't want us to go over here at the village of Albinaurics, at the Slumbering Wolf Shack, or the Road's End Catacomb. Grace didn't want us to go that way. Grace just wants us to go this way. There's a great rune inside. We have to go to that meeting place. What's the best way to get down? Oh, yes, the lattice. This is at front. We have the... this is actually the best look at the Academy seal. So I guess we should take a look at that before we go. 2 cuckoos on both sides. At the bottom we have the sun, and then we kind of see that star. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 pointed star 1, 2, 3, 4, 8-pointed star. So sun, star. Me, I see moon. Moon, sun, and stars. And in the crisscross, we have stars. How many? This reminds me of Kabbalah, which is like an esoteric discipline in Jewish mysticism. I think it's like the Kabbalah Tree of Life. I'll throw it on the screen so we can look at that. So this kind of reminds me of the Kabbalah Tree of Life. Kabbalah Tree of Life is a central symbol in in Jewish mysticism, representing the divine structure of the universe and the path to spiritual enlightenment. Its diagram of 10 interconnected spheres called Sephiroth, each representing different aspects of divine emanation and human consciousness. These Sephiroths are connected by 22 paths, mapping out the journey of the soul from the material world to the divine. How many orbs do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know. This is just that's the vibe I'm getting. What's interesting about the Academy sigil built like this? The Academy sigil doesn't normally look like that, does it? No, the Academy sigil doesn't have the tree of life behind it normally. But what's interesting is that it's built onto the lattice, and the lattice. Oh wait, I can't zoom in while I do this. It's Radagon's Scar Seal. It's an Elden Rune, said to be the seal of King Consort Radagon. So I'm seeing layers here. I see the Elden Rune. Like, how did they make this gate? They imitate the Elden Rune. They imitate the Elden Rune with Glintstone magic. Then above the Elden Rune, they put this, what looks like they have runes on there. Actually, what type of runes are those? That's interesting. What type of runes are these? Are they similar to the Spirit Calling Bell runes? Let me see. Yeah, the runes here, very, very, like there's not much curvature to these runes. Lots of just like regular lines. How do these compare? They're not like the 2-finger runes. These are like elvish. What about the Golden Order Fundamentalist runes? Those ones, it's very difficult to see. Oh, we could see it pretty well on the Holy Water Pot, I think. Different types of runes. But you can actually see in the Golden Order Fundamentalist seal. Maybe it's hard to see. It looks like a sun or a moon in there. Okay, so these runes look like the Spirit Calling Bell runes, and they're tying it to the stars. And then above it, and this is why they have the star in the center. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 stars, the sun and the moon. 7 stars, the sun and the moon. Right? 2, 4, 6, 7. Yeah. But you guys see what I'm saying, right? There's like layers here. And the cuckoo bird is trying to place something into the nest, their own egg into the nest, to raise it so the other bird raises it as their own. Also, I see lilies at the top. At the top near the moon. Lilies towards the moon. Alright, well, we gotta go to the meeting place. That's just, I'm not in depth in my mysticism, but I know it's got a lot of spirituality stuff tied to it. Ooh, a rune bear. This isn't gonna kill me, is it? Oh, please don't. No, I just threw away a great rune. Ugh. I gave up on the rune bear. Don't even worry about what happened. You could tell by the flasks that it wasn't going well. Yeah, a lot of interesting stuff going on at the Academy. The fact that the Academy seems to be doing a lot of like scientific research into oh boy. They seem to be doing like a lot of scientific research that revolves around astrological concepts and like alchemical processes. Like the way that they're trying to understand the world is... let's just use this again. I also think my noble slender sword type of build ain't gonna cut it, so we're gonna go back to the Rose's axe. And like a lot of those esoterics, like it seems like that is where a lot of their influence is derived from. And you could find a lot of there's so many channels out there who do that type of channels and posts and hobbyists who try to take like occultist esoteric understandings of things and yeah, turn that into their understanding of the lore. And I'm going to cancel the invasion because it's not going too hot. Hopefully that does what we need it to do. Oh, I just need one. It's not a smithing stone. All right, the meeting place looks like they met with a dragon. They met with a dragon. Oh. Is there all this cerulean stuff? Like all these cerulean scarabs because of the dragon here? Like, is it magical dragon poop? And this is perfect spot to do... Oh, I should have upgraded Latenna. Hopefully she doesn't attack yet, because I want to get the jump on her. Okay. I wonder if he... Is he going to wake up? Oh, I shouldn't have given that to Latenna as well. Okay, yeah, he's up. He's up. Glintstone Dragon Smarag. Oh, jeez. So he has Glintstone just protruding from his body. I think we're going to learn from his spell why that is, but I mean, we already kind of know based on what we've seen from the miners. And he's got magic fire breath, glintstone fire. What we've seen from the people in the crystal tunnels is that proximity to glintstone gives you glintstone's properties, tying to that soul magic stuff. Maybe it's a transference of like the magic of the soul onto them. He's probably very resistant to magic damage, so maybe I just hit him with fireballs. Using the Rose's axe, which is split physical and magic, probably isn't the smartest thing to do here. Oh, jeez. Probably having lightning on the setup would have done me better. Also the fire, too, because he's on the water. Yeah, I didn't come to this fight very well planned. Yeah, this Ash of War doesn't even hit him. Okay, you know what? We gotta... Oh my god. I better not die. Okay, can I... We gotta change up the build. We gotta change up the build. We'll be back for you, Smarag. There we go. Okay. Not the cleanest. Not the cleanest. But we did it. Dragon Heart. And where can we get that spell? Cathedral of Dragon Communion. Okay, so we can't learn more about Smarag until we get to the Cathedral of Dragon Communion. Here's our meeting place where someone was going to trade a key. Looks like these guys, sorcerers from outside the academy, noble sorcerers. They came with dragon wound grease. It must be like, all right, let's meet in this area. A dragon roosts here, so be careful. Come with dragon wound grease in case you need to fight them. I will have a key for you. But here's something interesting. Here's our academy glintstone key. Here's someone from the academy. Before we look at the key, look at how this guy is sitting. Look at this position. Now, we don't know the significance of this position yet, but with our foreshadowing, with our prophecy, who sits like this? Head tilted back, arms like this. I'll read this. Academy Glintstone Key. By looking at the key, it kind of looks like lilies at the top, then a blue gem, blue glintstone, and then a kind of a glintstone moon, I would say. maybe 2 cuckoos on the outside, down into, there also may be a star. Is that a 7-pointed star? Key that to the seals binding both gates of the Academy of Ryokari. Activates warp magic bound within the seals. So because of the Elden beat from the Elden Rune, then that Tree of Life, then the Academy Sigil, we have warp magic. Very similar to the gates that we've been finding all over the place, the Eternal Gates, the Eternal Sending Gates, as they kind of are. It looks like they're trying to imitate that warping magic, except they need much more to set that up as opposed to just the small little stargates. A Glintstone key will remember its user. Glintstone houses memory, meaning once it is used, it will never be passed on to another. The Academy does not welcome the indolent. I think that means stupid. Wanting to avoid lazy. A Glintstone key will remember its user, meaning once it's used, it will never be passed on to another. So this one has never been used before. This type of Glintstone can hold memory. Memory stones, which come from the fragment of the Black Moon, they hold memory. That means and you need memory stones to be able to cast your spells. You have to memorize the spell. Okay, so the power of Glintstone seems to be it's a conduit for channeling memory. Glintstone is a conduit for channeling memory. Hey, they don't want us to come in here. We need some keys. What are they hiding beneath the Academy? Are we back to using Raja's Rapier? Is that what's going on here? I guess so. So Glintstone keys can remember its users. Memory stones, you have to have a memory stone on your person, which comes from the Black Moon, and that gives the ability to hold more spells within memory. Nothing here. Then by channeling those memories, by having enough intelligence or faith, intelligence for the Glintstone, you're channeling the memory into something real. So I'm remembering Carian Greatsword. I'm thinking Carian Greatsword, and there we go. I can manifest it into thought, or into reality. Oh, I didn't know it did, I didn't know that it could do that. Okay, there we go. I was having audio issues, so I couldn't think properly. So by thought is transferred through the Glintstone, or the memories through it. Man, these guys are strong. And I guess this is where we're seeing a lot of that type of like astrology and alchemical stuff going on. If they're trying to ascend in some way, trying to ascend to like their soul, like I guess a soul ascension, but they're using like science to do it, or like similar to like science in their world, because they've essentially been able to find like the processes to, repeat these things in a lab. This guy is in prison. They're imprisoning people down here, and they're guarding it too. It was sealed off. What is the goal of the Academy? And it's definitely not just to learn everything. Like, it's not just like Gideon's I want to be all-knowing sort of ordeal. There's something else. Do we know exactly what they're trying to figure out yet? They're making artificial life. That guy's got a club. Oh, he's not taking damage. Oh, a fireball. Oh, it just stinks that there's so many of these guys here. Alright, McFireball's the way to go. Yeah, Oh, goodness. I guess I can go around. Can use stealth. This is a different type of guy that we've ever seen down there. Strong guy. Well, the wisdom of the stone is what they're trying to figure out. Okay, we'll look at that staff in a second. They're also holding, like, and a rune arc. They want to study that as well, I guess. They want to study the rune arcs. They're trying to study the Elden Ring. Ooh. Woo-wee. They got this guy guarding a rune arc and a crystal staff, but mostly he's guarding that rune arc. Oh my goodness, and he's annoying as heck. All right, we gotta go carrying on him. Oh, he's got a hammer. Oh, jeez. Oh, goodness gracious. Oy, 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 oy. All right, back for round 2. There we go. Stone Club. Okay, now we got things to talk about. All right. So the Academy... Staff fashion... The Academy is trying to... So the Academy is trying to find the faint cognition known as the Wisdom of the Stone. We also have... What is this from? Signature Club of Battle Mages, hewn from hard glintstone. This club is much heavier than its size suggests, but has no magic power. Does it scale with intelligence? No, it doesn't. So it's just hard glintstone. So that they not lose sight of the true essence of combat, battle mages prefer to feel the impact of their blows, fighting their opponents hand to hand. This battle mage was protecting a rune arc. They are definitely, they're definitely trying to understand the Elden Ring in some way too, but not in the same way that a Golden Order fundamentalist would. What did I actually put in the flask? Oh, it's just like another healing that we're doing. All right. 2 crystallions. Oh, what's that? Okay, that's like crystal burst. Uh-oh. Oleg. I choose you. Oh, that's what we want to see. There we go. Look at him. He's praising the sun. There we go. So what is this wisdom of the stone? Well, I don't... If Elden Ring is a canonical sequel to Dark Souls and Demon Souls, where that... Oh, actually, this is the spell to begin with. Then I think this is really important for understanding who the Crystallians might be and what the Carians might know. So remember, the Carians have their oath, Magic Downpour. Magic Downpour looks a lot like Crystal Release. One of the sorcerers Carian royal family said to have been taught by the Crystallians to mark the swearing of an old concord. So the Crystallians taught the Carians this, and it looks like it's derived from Crystal Release. Sorcery of the Mysterious Crystallians. Creates a massive crystal, then shatters it to scour a wide area of violent rain of crystal shards. And we know from the Glintstone key that Glintstone houses memories. It can be remembered, just like the memory stone from the Black Moon. So Black Moons can remember, Glintstone can remember. And what do the Crystallians remember? This sorcery used by high-ranking adepts among the Crystallians. So the Crystallians have a hierarchy. The Crystallians, and I think adept has a very skilled or proficient at something. High-ranking adepts. High-ranking adept. So amongst the hierarchy of the Crystallians, those who are high-ranking because they are proficient in a specific skill, they can cast the Crystal Sun. And it does the Praise the Sun emote from Dark Souls. And it also is the when you cast a miracle in Demon Souls with the Ring of Sincere Prayer. And what do we have on this elevator? A sun. So, you know, the part of the astrology, too, is studying the sun. Is the wisdom of the stone, is the wisdom of Glintstone, the wisdom of memory, is it remembering, like, Dark Souls? Is it remembering Demon Souls? Is it remembering the other games, like the other things that came before? Because we have memories from outside of the Lands Between. Not our character per se, but us as players, we remember things from before Elden Ring, like literally things before Elden Ring, including the previous games and just like that culture, the culture around them. All right, this is in the Academy. We're right in the center of the Academy, almost on par with the plateau. Really high tower. Mount Gelmir. We could see like a glintstone aurora borealis. We're high up here, but the world is kind of changing a bit. We see something different inside of the Academy, and we'll see that when we go to the Academy proper. But I just think it's interesting that we could see it here. That when you're in certain places of the world looks different. Terra Magica. How much do you need? 41 faith for crystal, or 41 intelligence to be able to cast crystal release. How much intelligence did you need for magic downpour? Only 15. Wow, you need to be really smart for that one. All right. One of the Glintstone Sorcery Academy Raya Lucaria. Draw an Academy sigil on the ground, raising the magic strength of those who within. Once, the sigil will be cast from the highest belfry of the Academy, covering the entire institution's grounds. This spell allows such vivid experience of spell-casting success, it turns many a fledgling into a true sorcerer and a flash of newfound understanding. Wow, that's really something to break down. So what? It's a vivid experience of spell-casting success. It turns many a fledgling sorcerer into a true sorcerer and a flash of newfound understanding. So by drawing the sigil on the ground, the sigil itself gives power, kind of like maybe drawing a rune. Okay, so by being able to manipulate a rune, the sigil itself draws an Academy sigil on the ground. So something about the sigil, that symbolism in the sigil, that knowledge of the symbolism in the sigil, turns a fledgling into a true sorcerer, newfound understanding. So you stand in the circle, and you just, I guess, things just start making sense. It's not even just like boosting your intelligence. It boosts just the pure magic power. What could that mean? We are gonna go. We're gonna do the Academy. Okay, next episode, because I want to do this. I want to go there and then do the Academy, because there is a memory stone there, and I'd like to have more memory slots. But that, okay, so they're trying to get the wisdom of the stone. And what is the wisdom of the stone? Well, in Glintstone is memory. So is it the wisdom of memory? The wisdom of memory. Remembering the previous games, that could be some wisdom. Remembering what's come before. That would help if people knew what happened in the underground. Once the sigil will be cast on high spell free, this allows such a vivid experience. Vivid. Clear images in the mind. It's such a clear experience. Everything is making sense. So now I'm able to cast spells successfully. It's newfound understanding, and to cast spells, we need to use our memory and churn those memories into reality. Take the memories and use the glintstone as a conduit to be able to cast them. Ooh, this might be why they are why they were working with the demi-humans. Glintstone staff styled as separate. A gift once given to the demi-humans foster peace. It can be wielded even those low intelligence, sneered at by fools of the Academy. And they were trying to teach, and we got which spell from that? I think Crystal Burst. Crystal Cadre, who pursue the wisdom of Stone, secrets locked in the faint cognition crystallians. Oh, maybe that's why they're trying to teach sorceries to the demi-humans. They're trying to unlock memories from the demi-humans. Specifically the Queen's memory. They're trying to remember the past that they don't know by showing other, like, species or races, magical races, to be able to produce their memories into reality, even with low intelligence, because it's not just about the cognition of understanding what it's looking like. It doesn't have to be vivid for the caster. It just has to be vivid for the one experiencing the memory. I don't know. Oh, also, it's so some call this the Crystal Sun. Now they didn't teach this to the Academy. The Academy wants to know Crystal Sun. I mean, it has the Academy. Oh no, wait. It doesn't have the Academy sigil. Which sigil is that? Is that the? What sigil is the Crystal Sun? What is that? Is that the Celian? No, it's not. It's the Carian sigil. Oh, so the Carians... What do the Carians know? Oh, do the Carians... Okay, the Carians know... The Carians must know so much. And the Academy is trying to get that knowledge. Do we know... When did... We don't have information on when she became the... We don't have information on when she became the Grandmaster of the Academy. We'll have to go meet Renal for that. Okay, so this is what recap of this episode. This is what I'm thinking. So we looked at Latenna. The important things about Latenna is that she is a man-made woman whose better half is a wolf and came from the Halig tree to get something in Liurnia, but they can't get back to the Halig tree without the two halves in the medallions. The medallion is kept safe in Castle Sol. Castle Sol gave a gift to maybe the Carians to hold the other half so people can't get to the Halig tree. Gideon wants to be all-knowing, so he just wants to know about the Halig tree. Ensha is the Lord of the Lost, and he's kind of a, what would you call a Sunrealm guy, maybe those who live in death, maybe he's the armor, whatever. He has interest in the Halig tree. We go to get our key. There's a meeting place. They meet here, but a dragon eats them. They knew that this was a dragon's resting ground because they had dragon wound grease. And a cure key, maybe they were going to kill the guy who was going to give them the key, but they all died. But the guy who had the key, he was slumped in a particular position. Wink wink puppets, a puppetry position. And he had the key. From the key, we learn that a Glintstone key will remember its user. So Glintstone can hold memories. Glintstone preserves residual lives, thing left after life, the spirit. So spirits and memories, the soul and memory. Dark Souls 2 introduced soul memory, which was how many souls that you had ever collected in the game. Okay, so souls and memory, same thing, I guess. When we defeat Godric, we got his remembrance, which is hewn into the Erd tree, and upon the defeat, remembrances are hewn by the Erd tree, so the Erd tree is made of memories as well. So the tree that we can't see is housing memories. The tree is housing memories, and Glintstone can house memories. Crystallians have something known as the wisdom of stone. So it's maybe it's the memory of stone. Ah, the stones remember, because the stones are much older than everything else. And one of those memories is of the sun. Praise the sun. Does the praise the sun gesture. And they taught this to the Carians. Okay. Terra Magica, a vivid experience. Just looking clear. Newfound understanding. All right, I think we just had a Terra Magica moment. That was a Terra Magica moment. All right, we are going to go that way next. Going to explore just around here, and then we'll go into the academy. All right. Hope you enjoyed this episode. A little all over the place, just like all of them. They're all a little over the place, aren't they? All right. You know the drill. Let's do the thing.